It's funny. Sometimes a story about a machine is what really tells us the most about ourselves. Today, we're diving into the journey of a robot who found her purpose, not in some pre-written code, but out there, in the wild, unpredictable world. This is really a story about how we all find our place when life doesn't come with an instruction manual. So, let's meet our main character, Razum Unit 7134. Yeah, quite a mouthful. We'll just call her Roz, which is what she eventually calls herself. Now, she wasn't born, she wasn't raised. One day after this huge storm shipwrecks her on a totally remote island, she's just activated. She opens her eyes, and all she sees are green trees and chirping birds. But there are no humans, no commands, and absolutely no clue what she's supposed to do. And this is the only thing her programming knows to ask. What is my task? It's this question that just hangs in the air, echoing in the silence of the island. Because this new world so full of life, it offers her no answer at all. Okay, so this kicks off the first big chapter of her journey, waking up to a new life with zero instructions. And, just like any of us starting something new, Roz is completely unprepared. The island is not exactly a welcoming place for a big piece of machinery. I mean, the animals, they run from her. The birds see her as this huge threat. She has no instincts, no real understanding of how to survive. And then you've got this clever, kind of cynical fox named Fink, who just sums it all up perfectly. He takes one look at this strange metal creature and lays out the hard truth. You're not built for this world. And this is the exact moment her story becomes our story. Because let's be honest, who among us is born perfectly ready for the world? So, with no commands to follow, Roz starts the most basic, most human learning process there is. She just watches. She messes up, and she slowly, painstakingly learns. For a while, her learning was all about survival, just pure survival, until one single moment that just changed everything. This is where her programming really goes off script, and she finds a purpose that she could never, ever have been designed for. So, after this accident with a falling tree, Roz finds this broken nest with one lone surviving goose egg, and when it hatches, the tiny little gosling, who she'll later name Brightbill, looks right at her, this strange metal being, and says its first word, Mama. And with that one word, Roz's whole world just shifts on its axis. And boom, just like that, Roz finally has an answer to her big question. But here's the kicker. It didn't come from her makers. It wasn't some line of code. It was a choice. She decides, right then and there, my task is to protect and raise this gosling. She gives herself a purpose. Now just stop and think about how completely impossible this task is. A robot has to teach a bird how to be a bird. She has to learn the ways of nature from scratch, how to find the right food, how to get him into the water, and then, the hardest lesson of all, how to fly. And this moment, it just beautifully captures the wisdom she's gaining. It's not from data, but from pure experience. As Brightbill is struggling to fly, falling and failing, Roz encourages him with a truth she herself has learned on this island. It's a powerful lesson for the gosling, for sure, but it's also a lesson for every single one of us. So as she's raising Brightbill, her whole role on the island starts to shift. The outsider, the piece of tech, starts to actually earn her place. She starts to belong. See, unlike most technology that tries to dominate or control nature, Roz does the exact opposite. She adapts. She starts using her abilities to help the other animals, protecting them, even building shelter to get them through the harsh winter. She serves the very community she found herself in. And the island community, which was so scared of her at first, starts to see her differently. Longneck, this wise old goose, he really captures this change perfectly. He recognizes that where she came from, that doesn't matter nearly as much as what she does. Her choice to care, that's what earns her a place among them.
But, like with all parenting and all of life, really, time keeps moving. The seasons change. Brightbill grows up, and Roz has to face one of the toughest lessons of love.
The time comes for the annual goose migration. Brightbill is strong, he's ready, and he has to go. And for Roz, this is the ultimate test. She learns that real love isn't about holding on tight. It's about having the strength to let go, to let someone become who they were always meant to be, even if that means they leave you behind. So, with Brightbill gone, the island gets quiet again. And Roz is, once more, without a primary task. That old question about her purpose comes creeping back, but this time it feels deeper, way more personal. Her job as a mother is done. So, what is she now? Right as Roz is starting to figure out this new phase of her life, her past finally catches up with her. The world she came from comes knocking, and it brings a pretty brutal, unforgiving truth with it. A ship arrives, and from it, more robots come out. They look just like Roz, but they are everything she is not. They're cold. They follow orders without a second thought. And they have come with one single, chilling command for her. And this is where it all comes to a head. The two versions of Roz are just worlds apart. To the island, she's a mother, a protector, a friend. But to her makers, she's just Rosm Unit 7134. She hasn't evolved. She's malfunctioned. She's nothing more than a defective product that needs to be recalled and reset. And in this final moment, Roz makes her ultimate choice. She realizes that if she stays and fights, her makers will just keep coming back, and they'll endanger this entire island that she's come to love. So she surrenders, and it's not an act of defeat. It is the ultimate act of protection. They take her. They reset her. The life she built, the love she felt, all the lessons she learned, it's all just wiped away. Her story, for all intents and purposes, is gone. Or is it? A story doesn't just exist in the memory of one person or one robot. A story exists in all the lives it touched. Roz's physical body is gone from the island, sure, but her impact is still there. It lives on in the animals she saved, in the community she helped build. It lives in her son, Braitbill, who comes back to the island flying stronger than ever, carrying with him every single lesson she ever taught him. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? Roz came into the world asking what her task was, but she left it having discovered its meaning. At the end of the day, we aren't defined by our programming, or our origins, or even how long our story lasts. We're defined by the love, the lessons, and the legacy we choose to leave behind.